Today, many are crediting Stacey Abrams with changing the makeup of Georgia voters by mobilizing people to register to vote. Her effort was born out of her 2018 failed gubernatorial campaign, where she was narrowly defeated by Governor Kemp with less than a 2% margin.
Well, since then, she's made it her mission to make sure Georgians recognize just how much their one vote matters. To give you a better picture, the Secretary of State's office says they saw more than 800,000 new voters registered since the 2016 general election, and nearly 575,000 of those came after the 2018 gubernatorial election. As you know by now, the presidential race here in Georgia will be determined by just a few thousand votes, with many others already headed for a runoff. But Abrams says the success is not just hers. It belongs to many minority voting rights organizations. Hope Ford explains how Black, Asian, Latino voting advocates mobilize hundreds of thousands of new voters.
Investment makes a difference because it signals a belief in the capacity of voters to actually make choices when they know those choices are real and when we mitigate the effects of voter suppression.
Stacey Abrams talking to the Associated Press last month about voter registration and expanding voting rights. Abrams founded Fair Fight Action, a group credited with registering nearly 500,000 voters in the past few years. But hers is just one of many organizations working tirelessly in minority communities.
When we started as an organization, there were only 10,000 Latinos registered to vote. Now there's 250,000.
The gains have been really tremendous, and especially in a place like Gwinnett.
Stephanie Chow with Asian Americans Advancing Justice says the biggest challenge is getting voting materials and candidate breakdowns to people in multiple languages.
We have to do that within at least 10 different languages every time.
Jerry Gonzalez with Galeo, a Latinx voting rights group, says if you look at this election, you can see the impact of a growing number of minority votes on multiple issues.
We weren't just paying attention to the presidential race. We were paying attention to many other races that have a significant impact in our lives.
Now, minority voting rights groups are focusing on the runoffs.
It's in CD6 and CD7, which are heavy immigrant areas.
We'll have a better idea of the actual voter turnout and how it breaks down by demographics after the election is certified by the Secretary of State's office on November 20th.